everyone. We're on location again.
We are with some Wednesday Wisdom special friends, right?
We've known each other for quite a while, haven't we?
It's got to be at least 30 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 25, and then when I walked in here, you reminded me that it's been 5 years more, and now I feel really old. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Graham Hills.
It's been a nice 30 years, though. It really has.
It has. We go all the way back to Displays JC's.
Yeah,
right?
when we were really young.
I'm still really young.
Yes.
Yes, me
Yes.
too.
we put the junior Chamber of Commerce.
There you go. And before any of us had, Robbin and I had
Before
kids,
children.
we knew Graham, and
Mhm.
before there was GL Hills Funeral Home, we knew you
Yeah.
when we were all young.
Yeah.
Running around with hopes and dreams.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
But
and it all worked out.
you opened up the funeral home in,
1995.
okay, and our kids we were talking about were 2 and
Yeah.
3 and really
Yeah.
3, 4 years old, something like that. We were all at the grand opening. Thank you for that invite. But I think what we really were talking about is you've got a longer history with Displays.
Yes. Yeah. My family on both of my parents' side go way back. On my mother's side, they go back to the 1890s.
Really?
And
Okay.
I didn't know that.
They were part of the greenhouse families, the Blewitts, and some of those other large greenhouses that were here in Des Plaines.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, my great-grandfather's house is still on Algonquin Road.
Is it really?
And my grandfather's house is right next door that he built in 1935.
On Algonquin?
Yeah.
Grandfather and,
On my mom's side.
okay.
On my dad's side, they lived down where Lake Opeka is now,
Okay.
when it was a cornfield.
Really?
Wow.
They moved
Way
there
back.
sometime in the late 20s.
Okay.
And raised all 5 of their kids, and they were baptized at Trinity Lutheran up the street
Really?
here. When it
Okay.
was up the street, when it was Trinity Lutheran.
Okay,
So,
before it was over.
before it was, yes, before it became the Masonic Lodge.
Oh!
It was
oh,
Trinity- it
that's
was at the
Trinity.
Masonic Lodge.
Okay, that's at
Yeah.
Prairie and
Prairie and Graceland.
Graceland.
Yeah,
Okay.
just up the street.
I'm
from where
learning
we're
what
at.
other buildings had history here
Oh, there's
before
a
they were
lot
what
of
they
it.
were when we knew
Yeah,
them.
there's a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So-
Mhm.
Yeah, kind of grew up here, and my grandfather was a big history buff. You know, he loved it, so he was always sharing in his later years. You'd go and visit him, and he just wanted to talk about Des Plaines. He was an alderman here in Des Plaines for 26 years
Wow.
during like the 1950s into the early 70s.
Was that a grandfather that the Hills name?
No, that was a Prickett.
A Prickett.
Yeah, that was
okay.
the greenhouse families and stuff.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
So you grew up in Des Plaines?
In
No?
both Des Plaines and Fox Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then brought your business back to Des Plaines?
After college, I moved to Des Plaines and came back home. Well, I had grandparents and aunts and cousins still living in Des Plaines and Park Ridge, so it was just kind of
The natural
Natural
progression
thing
for
to
you.
do.
yeah.
But and I think you still have a huge connection, and I see your name incorporated with local. Well, you've always been a supporter of our business, and we have. We are a supporter of your business, but it's always interesting to know. Okay, we got to call Graham, which means there's a funeral. But we've had a mutual support for everybody's businesses. But I've also seen you involved in the Y. I've seen you involved in the Frisbee Senior Center. You weren't someone who just put down a business and said, "Come to me." You went out into the community and got involved as well.
Right. Yeah. Actually, before I had the business, I was volunteering already.
Okay.
In the Rotary Club, at the
Yeah.
YMCA and JC's,
Uh-huh.
and different things with the City of Des Plaines, Development Commissioner, and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And that's actually, people would tell me, you should open a funeral home in town. You know so many people, and why don't you have a funeral home here in town?
Okay.
And, you had to think about it long and hard, and worked out that we found the right piece of property and pulled it together.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And here we are, absolutely.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Some long time ago.
Exactly.
But when we built the funeral home, we also built it with the intent that a large percentage of any profits would be given back to the community.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a philanthropic adventure that we had started right from the beginning. And I learned that from the Ladoffs, from Ladoff YMCA and
okay.
Ladoff Chevrolet.
Huh.
That was their attitude about their Chevy dealership, was that they would all get paid and make a living, but that it was really there as a philanthropic business.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. That's great. It's a wonderful mindset.
Yeah, it makes you feel good about going to work every day and doing the work that you do.
Good.
Yeah.
And you do good work.
Well, thanks. So do you.
Oh,
And you too, Robin.
And you have been a client of
Yes.
yours. We have helped you make moves.
Yes.
We've done a lot of business back and forth.
Yes,
all of us
yes,
together,
yes.
so.
Yes.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the chat.
Oh,
We might
more than
come
glad.
back again and talk about what makes Hill's Funeral Home so special.
Oh, well,
So-
we can do that.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
so much.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.